Hey everybody, Pierre here. I wanted to make a quick video and a cool little history video on why I needed heart surgery. Uh, when I need why I needed heart surgery and how was it a coincidence that I got it on the day of Valentine's Day? I think of this year. I'm like I think I'm 8 months in. I can't remember exactly. Um, what Valentine's Day is, but was, but the reason why I needed heart surgery and why I needed to get it done, it's a long story, so stay tuned. Um, so when I was born and born in in the hospital, I can't remember exactly which hospital, but here in Canada I was born and I came out um this has nothing to do with the heart. I'm pretty sure. I mean, at least I don't know all the details, but my mom told me that I came out not breathing when I was born, and they fixed that right away, which is a good thing, and I'm happy they did. And the story of how and what happened to my heart, you may ask. I was born with basically a hole in the valve, which is when the leaflets are like these little flaps that each time your heart pumps, they open and close for how much blood gets through and how much blood gets pumped through your body. Basically, it controls that. So the flow of blood. There you go. Especially delivering oxygen to specific parts of your body. And so since I had this hole, I only had two flaps, not three, because you're supposed to have three in a valve, and sometimes you can have four. I think they said it's sometimes two, and two is not a good thing either. But I also had two, but it also left a hole, so I didn't have three. So what happened is my twin brother has four of them. So we were always thinking that maybe my brother took my third leaflet that was supposed to be mine in my valve. My valve that had a hole in it is called the aortic valve, I think it's called, and later down the future it caused me problems when I was around in I would say from grade 6 to grade 8. I wouldn't say it started, but I definitely had problems with exercise like running or anything because I would get tired. I would feel exhausted most of the time. That's because of my heart. And it basic it basically stops me from doing stuff as well as other people. I can definitely do it exactly the same as other people. It's just it took me a lot more time. And once I got out of school, sorry, what is it called? Not high school. It's primary school, I think, is what it's called. And then when I got into high school, this is where it starts to get worse. From from grade 10 to grade 12, I noticed different feelings, and my doctor would tell me not to get punched or to take any karate lessons like I wanted to, or lift anything too heavy that I wouldn't be able to lift and wouldn't be able to, do stuff properly with that kind of stuff. So that was off the table. And I also noticed whenever I lift something way too heavy, I was weak. I couldn't do it, not because of the muscles. It was because I legitimately couldn't do it. Even if it was something as light as a jug of water, I noticed I started to struggle with. Moving on to my adult age, I was probably the most stressful, I will say, because I noticed it started to get worse, and we finally got a hold of a doctor to talk to, and this I know I'm skipping ahead of time here, but I guess I'll talk a little more. Probably around 2017 is when I broke my leg on my bike, and I'm not going to get into too much detail there because that has nothing to do with my heart. I was riding my bike, whatever, and I guess I could bring in some bike incidences where my heart was. Around from 2016 all the way to now, not now, but what I mean is like before this year, but before I got my heart surgery. So from basically from it was around 2016 all the way to now, which is 2023. I had really bad chest pains to the point I thought I was gonna have a heart attack. It hurt really bad, right? And I was always saying it's my heart, but everybody, like the doctors, would suggest that maybe it's a chest pain where my muscle is. And so we always thought it was the muscle. But here's the thing, in 2019, I got I think it's called an ultrasound. I'm not sure. It's either an X-ray or ultrasound. Or I think there's another one for it. I can't remember. They took a look and they said it was getting worse, but not quite there yet to being needed to be replaced. But I felt like it needed to be, and that's probably because I guess I'm not so sure if it was because I'm still growing. But at that point, I think I would be stopped growing or whatever. And then here comes this year. So my struggles were really bad there in the past of that time being not being able to carry things. It was getting so much worse to the point that even sometimes when I stand up, I'd get a really bad chest pain to the point. And it sucked so bad that to the point we finally got an appointment done and I went in and my valve was so bad to the point it was really starting to leak blood, which explains I didn't explain this very well, but I was also getting really dizzy and lightheaded when that stuff. And little did I know, um, the doctor said to me and my mom when she was there when we got this done, it got so worse to the point it really started to leak blood. I was half my blood couldn't get to the rest of my body. And if you don't know the aortic valve, I'm pretty sure when the doctor explained it to me, correct me if I'm wrong if you guys know a lot about doctor stuff, half of it wasn't getting to my head. So I wasn't getting the proper oxygen flow. My vision was more blurry then, and I was not feeling good. So this is when the surgery got planned. And funny thing, it was on Valentine's Day. Perfect timing. You know, the the time where everything is about, your love or your heart, the hearts, the hearts and Valentine's Day. Yeah, all that. So I get bragging rights that I got my heart surgery and my heart fixed on Valentine's Day, which is one of the coolest things to ever have. And going into the surgery, I honestly thought I was going to die. I mean, a lot of people would think that. And the scary part of heart surgery is saying, like, not trying to say goodbye, but also being scared at the same time. And the worst part is, I was not in the best of moods. A lot of things were falling apart for me for that time. And I had two really great friends and my brother and my mom to help me through the tough time I was going through, and my dad and my older brother, and through the tough time I was going through, um, right before we went into surgery and stuff, and I definitely cried, and because I honestly thought it was going to be my last time on Earth, and I'm kind of getting a little emotional about it now, but I'll hold it. I won't cry on camera for you guys. Um, if you guys want to see the scar, I'll show it. YouTube, no, I'm not getting naked. Um, Here it is. Let me explain it. So here we got there was two tubes right here and two wires right here. The camera doesn't pick up those scars very well, but sorry. The two tubes went in here, and there was two little wires here, and I can't remember what the tubes were for. I'm not so sure. I really never really asked what the tubes are for, and as for the wires, I didn't really ask either. I should have probably asked. But yes, there was two tubes, and when they pulled them out, this is gonna sound really weird. You know those like shits that you have on the toilet where it's like horrible to have? It felt like that. It felt like I was taking a shit out of my chest because the way it came out felt like I was pushing shit. It was the weirdest fucking feeling I've ever had, and it hurt a little bit, not a lot. It definitely didn't hurt the whole way. It just a little pinch, but that's about it. As for the wires, that one was the worst feeling ever. I did not like it. When they pulled them out, it felt like up here on my chest, it felt like they were slowly pulling out the wires. I'm assuming they were all tied up here or something. I'm not sure, but it felt extremely, extremely weird. On the incision, I think that's what it's called. I'm sorry, I don't know much doctor stuff, but here this is where they cut me open to basically do my heart. I'll tell you what procedure they did in a second, but so they can do the heart surgery, and they had staples going all the way up my chest, and that's how they did it. How they closed it, and they did slowly, one by one, take out each staple. Though the staples weren't too bad. Now the worst part of the time that I spent in the hospital was probably the I think it's called a catheter. When they need to take that out, it hurts. It was the worst pain I've ever felt in my whole entire life. So what they do is they put a tube on the penis, and they would YouTube, this is educational, okay? This is educational purposes. I'm allowed to say this. Educational. I'll even put it in the description. Um they'd basically put a tube on the penis and a little balloon that I think, yeah, it's like a, it basically opens the hole of your penis, so you never feel it when you're peeing, like unconsciously peeing all the time, because it's always emptying your bladder. And you have a bag beside you. And that bag smelled so bad. It was it was god awful. So you would have a bag beside you, and that's where you would pee. And so that's where it'll empty your bladder, basically, is what I'm trying to say. When they have to take it out, I didn't realize how deep it goes inside your bladder. Your penis will feel like it's on fire if you're a guy. For a woman, I heard it is not as painful or not painful at all. As for men, it is excruciating when they take it out. I almost fainted when that's how bad the pain was for at least me. And this is not me over exaggerating the pain. If you had a catheter, let me know. I want to know how you guys dealt with it. Um, Tell me in the comments below how it felt for you if you did have one. Um, when they take it out, it's like the searing pain. They grab it and they pull. So the doctor, the she so when she was pulling it out, she said it wasn't gonna hurt, and I was actually completely calm. I mean, I don't think she said that exactly, but it made me feel like it wasn't going to hurt. Maybe she was doing that to make me not so scared and be like, okay, I guess it's not that bad, right? It's not going to be that bad. And I also vaguely remember my mom telling me it's not that bad to have a catheter. But my mom is a woman. So, since I heard it's not that bad for them, I wasn't thinking, right? Because I never really knew about men. But I just assumed it wasn't going to be that bad. I didn't scream, but I let out a sound that I never thought I could let out. It hurt so bad. I got shivers there thinking about it. It was just a really bad pain, very painful. and it sucked. Now, the other things I want to get into is learning how to walk again. And you might be like, how does that involve heart surgery? You have to learn everything again, and that's not me fucking with you. At least in my case, it felt like I had to learn everything again. How to push open a door, how to open a door lightly. How to walk was the most painful thing to do. Not in like pain. It didn't hurt. I mean, it was hard. I was fucking weak. My legs just, it was hard. So they gave you a walker, and the doctors will walk you around. I was there for 8 days, by the way, at the hospital. I'll explain my 8 days adventure in the hospital in a second, but it's not a walker that you like do this. It has wheels on it, so they give you like this walker, and one or two doctors will walk beside you. One will hold your urine bag, your catheter, and you would walk beside them, and you would go basically laps around. For the first day, they don't make you not. It's not the first day. Sorry, the day they start to make you walk, which I think they 3 days in they started to make me start to walk. Um, they would walk beside you, help you walk, blah blah blah, and the further you go, the better is what they like. It was also very hard to breathe, and I'll get to that story in a second. Oh my god, that was the worst experience. I felt like I was gonna die when I like it was so hard to breathe. I feel I feel how old people feel when they need to get this done and stuff. Being a young guy going through this, it sucks. And I can see why a lot of old people sometimes have attitude and stuff. This stuff is not fun. It's not fun to go through. Anyway, so you would go further and further each day on how far you could walk, and breathing, about the breathing. They would feed you oxygen through either a big mouthpiece, like a mask, or through the nose with like one of those little tubes. Getting oxygen through your nose for a long period of time is so uncomfortable. You'll have blood all over the place for your nose. At least in my case, I get severe bloody noses when my nose dries up, and it was horrid. It was so horrible. I had to blow out so much blood out of my nose. And the worst part your lungs are full of phlegm. I think it's what it is what it's called. It's like a liquid. Not a liquid, but like, oh, sorry, I just thought of it, and it's disgusting. It's not fun. Coughing that shit up, especially when your chest was literally freshly cut open, is the worst fucking feeling ever. And I know I just said that the catheter is really painful. Sneezing is also. But see, with the catheter, it lingers for longer, for about 10 seconds longer than if you were to sneeze and have your chest feel like it just opened up like a Minecraft chest. Like every time I sneezed, I just imagined the E sound from Minecraft. That shit sucks. It just felt like that. I know it wasn't actually popping open, which I hope it wasn't. Um, but that sucks. They basically put titanium in my chest to hold it together. Now, I should explain. I'm explaining a lot of this out of order, and I'm sorry. But this is how my story went. Day one was so uncomfortable. I don't even remember a lot of day one. Day one was all I remember is like it was dreadful. I did not like it at all after I woke up. Day two, however, was also shit. There's so many hallucinations. I'm gonna get to the hallucinations. They were so much fun. Um, they actually kept me entertained, which I'm actually very happy about. It gave me distractions to worry about. And you might be like, hallucinations, what the fuck? Drugs, man. Drugs. They'll do that to you. Hallucinations. Anyway, so day 2 was quite weird, right? Got to meet a couple of nurses, and I got to see my surgeon a little bit. I think that was on the second day I met him. Well, I already met him, but what I mean is like seen him since I met him before the surgery, and I haven't seen him in like a couple more days after that day I met him. Well, seen him. I say met, but I've already met the guy. He's a great surgeon. Fucking fantastic. And all of the nurses, I wouldn't say all, but most of them were nice. So I met some of the nurses. I laid there in the bed, and it was mostly painful, and I was always complaining about oxygen. I always complained like I couldn't breathe. I felt like I couldn't breathe, but in reality, I was breathing fine. The machine said I was. Whatever, right? So it's 3 a.m. and I'm making this video. I just thought it was a cool idea to make this video. I always complained that I couldn't breathe. I didn't feel good. I felt nauseated all the time, and I just felt like there was no air going on. And then the coughing started happening. Oh boy, the coughing. The coughing is the worst shit ever. Every time I coughed, I felt like my heart was gonna explode out of my chest. And why did I cough? Not because I was sick, because the phlegm started. Coughing up the phlegm is the worst part. Felt like, you know how babies have spit up and it comes out of their mouth sometimes and it's disgusting? That's what it was, but on a much bigger scale. It would make you gag, too. Yes, yeah, I'm thinking about it. I'm getting a little nauseated right now. Um, it was unpleasant. Oh my god, sorry. Um, it was unpleasant. Very unpleasant. It's not the best feeling. And so, on the third day, oh, I should explain the night I had on day 2. On day 2 at night, so the first, that would be the second night because the first day is first night and the second day is second night. So the second night, I was hallucinating hella bad. Just all I saw, this one was a peaceful one. I'll give it that. I was laying in bed, the room looked blue, and there was dragonflies. It was actually one of the most peaceful things ever. It was a relief because it made me not think about how I'm breathing or that I'm even in a hospital. I thought I was in a whole different world. I felt like I was in VR chat. There you go. Felt like I was in a VR chat world. And it was extremely peaceful. It was nice. I felt calm. Add some music to that and you would think it's a VR chat world. And it was so nice. It was so nice. Um it didn't last though, because after an hour of staying awake, because I woke up. I did fall asleep, but then I woke up randomly. And this was definitely I never got to know what the time was. That was the weird part. I found scary. It was weird. There was times when I felt like I was in the back rooms. I'll explain those hallucinations are cool actually, but scary. So since I'm a horror fanatic, there's tend to be some horror things happening in my hallucinations, and I'll explain that. So the first hallucination was so Nice. My next hallucinations I'll explain when the next night comes. Here's the third day. The third day, my mom came in, greeted me, seeing if I'm okay. And I tried to eat, and oh my god, that's hard. And the hospital food, that's the word, sucked. It sucked. I'm sorry to whoever cooked it. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be mean, but I'm sure you have thousands of dishes to cook for the other patients out there, and that's why you don't have time to make it look nice or. Actually, they did take the night. Actually, no, that's a lie. They took the time to make it look nice. The presentation was fucking beautiful. I will give them that A plus, but the fucking food didn't taste good, and I'm sorry. And I couldn't even taste much at all in the first place. I didn't drinking coffee while it was still steaming hot. I didn't care. There's something to drink other than fucking water. It was so nice to have, and eating for it's. I was grateful that I was okay, um, in that moment, and my mom tried to help me eat and stuff like that, and I'm thankful for her help and the doctor's help. Eating, it would be like a rice chicken meal. Like it had chicken on it with rice, and you might be like, "Oh, that actually sounds great." It's something I wouldn't eat all the time because let me tell you, the chicken did not taste like chicken. That might have been me because I was in the hospital, but there was a craving I had during my time at the hospital. That was apples and Rice Krispies. And oh my god, if I didn't get apples and Rice Krispies, bro, in the morning, I was bummed out. When I got those little shreddies, I think that's what they're called, that sucked. I wanted me Rice Krispies. And there was this one really nice nurse that would always make sure I got Rice Krispies, and that was the best. My mom, even my mom bought me Rice Krispies to have at the hospital with lactose intolerant milk. Because if I didn't get lactose intolerant milk, I'm lactose intolerant, so if I didn't get that milk, it would have sucked. Like, my stomach would have hurt so bad. And I don't know if I would like to deal with that. Because the worst part started to happen, and that was on day 4. Well, day 3, technically, it started to happen where I couldn't take a shit. Day 3, I didn't even try that day because it wasn't that bad. But day 4, I'll get to that. But anyway, day 3 went alright, hard to breathe, and the doctor got mad at the nurses for allowing me, and this is my fault. I am sorry to the nurses. It's my apologies. I kept on getting scared that I couldn't breathe and stuff, and I was always complaining about it, so they always let me have the mask. It was called the Bifrost, I think it was called. I can't remember. Was it Bifrost? Oh my god. I don't even know. It was a mask that went on your face, your mouth, and nose, so it forces the oxygen in. That one I loved so much, but you have to learn to breathe again. And I wasn't letting myself do that. And that was the bad thing. That's why the doctor got mad. I'm pretty sure. He forced me off that and made sure that I never need to use that machine again and started to have the tubes in the nose. The Bifrost was there only for I guess day 1, day 2, and maybe at night. But on day 3, he was definitely weaning me off that. On day 4, the Bifrost was completely gone. I think that's what it's called. Correct me, please. That's what I feel like it was called. For some reason, I'm saying Bifrost, and that's what comes to my mind. Anyway, actually, we should talk about the night. This was the weird night. You know how I play a lot of VR chat? Yeah, this is where the VR chat problem happens. My friend visited me in the hospital, but he actually wasn't there. He goes by the name of Unoriginal. This is funny, and I never even told him this story, but I told my other friends this story. This was the funniest experience I think I've ever had in the hospital. Okay, get ready for this one. This hallucination. I had my friend's avatar trying to talk to me. Well, he's glitching up the wall. This is not you cannot make this shit up. I'm not fucking with you. So, here I am. Let's say I'm lying down. I hope it doesn't blur. I'm laying down like this, barely can fucking move, breathing through the tubes in my nose, and I'm just sitting here and I'm watching him. He's just going up and down. And there was a hallway right here. Right in front of me, just the whole time. And every time I just watched him go up and down, and I hear what he's trying to say. His first words were like, "How you doing?" Oh, and that, and then eventually, after like 5 minutes of just enjoying him glitching up and down the wall, he just goes up into the ceiling, and poof, gone. My mind was blown, dude. I was fucking high out of my bonking mind. And then the creepy shit started to happen. Actually, no, there's one more. There's one more. But that's on the next night, actually. This night was fucking nuts. This night was nuts. So the creepy shit started to happen, and that was the back rooms. I felt like I was constantly in the back rooms when I had some hallucinations. Though, did the back rooms randomly appear? No. It just everything felt abandoned. And I hated those hallucinations. And good thing those ones lasted the least amount. Thank God. It felt like the back rooms because I was in a hospital, I didn't know where I was, and it felt very liminal space. And so it brought to my mind the back rooms. Oh my God, I couldn't push my chair back. If you don't, those who don't know the back rooms, it is about liminal space and turning it into a horror theme. And that stuff, I'm sorry. That's my bad. That stuff is genuine. Oh my God, sorry. That stuff was genuinely scary to me, and it was the back rooms that I was always imagining of was the either the run for your life, or at least that's what the one that I think I was thinking. I actually don't remember the backrooms ones very much, but I do remember talking about them because I know I had them. And the one that I guess I vividly remember is just the basic level 0, if you know what that one is. The yellow carpet walls and the ceiling with the buzz and the damp carpet, whatever. That's the one. And I was always scared that something would pop up and attack me every time because I felt like I was sitting there in the back rooms all helpless. And that was a scary experience. But good thing those only lasted like a minute or two before I calmed down. And let me tell you, the machine didn't like that because it would beep a lot when it either notices if my heart goes too low or too high. And yeah, that's complicated. Now I'm going to explain some of the other stuff. So basically, on day 4, also sucked because I coughed up so much phlegm that time. That day was the day it chose. My lungs chose violence. My lungs chose as soon as I woke up when I fell asleep at that night, and there was a lot of sleepless nights, I'll say that. I only got like minutes to maybe a couple hours that night. Because of either the hallucinations or I was scared or didn't feel good. Sorry, my OBS is over here, so sometimes I keep looking over there. So basically, on day 4, my lungs decide to go, haha, funny, and then so much phlegm. There was so much phlegm. Just everywhere. Fuck ton of phlegm, coughing it up, whatever. That kind of stuff. And then I got food. The nurses brought in food, stuff like that. Of course, every morning they brought in food, and it would be coffee. It'd be pretty much the same thing all over again. But I was always happy to see the Rice Krispies. That was the that was just the main thing I wanted the most was just Rice Krispies. And my mom would always bring in an apple. And my mom still gave me that cereal box with the milk, which was very nice. Um, that was every morning, and I didn't even explain lunch and dinner what they brought me in for those. One time there was an egg salad sandwich, and that was actually on this day, and that thing was so good. I wish I had it again, but I never. That was the only egg salad sandwich I got. I was really disappointed. I was really upset because that was good. There was also a salmon, like tuna, like it was like a tuna sandwich that they also gave me for lunch at one point. And for dinner, it was like the chicken with the rice stuff. That was most of the time I got that. I can't remember most of the foods though, so that's what I know of. Oh, and it was weird. The juices they gave you were in like those applesauce stuff that you would peel open and drink. I mean eat, but there was like in an applesauce container and you would drink it out of that. It was weird, but I guess it made it easy for those who need to drink it and stuff, right? So day four was actually both bad and good because that's when I started to try and take a shit so bad. I wanted to so bad, but I couldn't. I was constantly always feeling full, my colon, I guess you could say that. Constantly feeling bloated. It sucked so much and it wasted so much of my energy to try and take a shit. Like, it hurt at times too because it just sucked. And then I also had my first sneeze on day four, and that was painful. Very painful. You don't want to sneeze, it'll make you tear. It sucks. Sneezing sucks. Oh, and I never even talked about the needles, huh? They they fill ya with needles. One right here, it was under my neck, going into the vein on your neck. I'm sorry, I'm not a fan of needles. One somewhere here, uh, that led off to 2 points, and they would have to flush you. What does flush mean? I think it's water. They and it gives you a really really weird warm feeling up your arm and stuff. It's not a warm feeling. What feeling? No, it is warm. Yeah, warm feeling. And it goes through your arm and it feels unpleasant, but a feeling that you can handle because it doesn't necessarily hurt. It's quite the weird feeling, and they always have to flush it. I still don't understand why, but yeah, that's what they had to do, right? That kind of stuff. I also had a bag of I forgot what that's called as well, but it's a bag that goes up on the bar thing, and they'd hang it. It's to give you electrolytes, the your stuff like that. Electrolytes and nourishment basically. If you weren't going to eat very much, and also to keep you healthy. So I also lost a lot of blood. I'll get to that too. I lost a lot of blood during the after the surgery, and that's why I felt really weak, and that's why my skin was a little gray. That was not pleasant. I will say that. Just my skin definitely was gray. I was just above where I didn't need to get a blood transfusion. What a blood transfusion is someone else's blood in my body. Basically, it'll give me extra blood if I needed it, but I didn't need it. But I was definitely being watched, so I didn't faint or stuff. I did definitely felt a little dizzy, but it wasn't enough blood to be too much of a concern. But it was very close to that line where it almost was. Um, but I was doing alright, and I could gain that blood back. On day four, when I was going to bed, it was interesting that night. I tried to reach out to one of the doctors because I wanted water so bad because I was out of water. And she's clearly sitting across from me, but she ignored me. You might be like, they give you a button by the bed, right? Where you have to click and alert them if you need something. Man, I wish that I could click it if it wasn't 30 light years that way, where I didn't like to move my arm because I'm scared of needles and I didn't want to move my arm with a needle in my arm. And it was just way in bumfuck over there, and I couldn't click it because they forgot to give it to me. And I sat there for one restless night, and this was like almost the whole night I was trying to reach out. I fucking tried my best to call out to them so many times, and she just sat there. Yeah, just sat there. But here's a funny thing that happened that night. Someone was flipping me off. No one was actually there. It was, I was hallucinating. Someone across from me. I can't make this shit up. Like, I would tell you guys to ask my friends and shit, but like, I even told them this. Alright, some motherfucker, alright, decided to be like, hey yo, let's be his hallucination demon and just stand there and flip him off. Well, there's someone sitting right next, not next to me, but right next to them. He was literally, this was him, standing in the hallway. He's just watching me really careful. He's literally bent over like this, one arm in his knee, because he, well, both right now, and he goes like this. And then he slowly fades away like he is a ghost that decided to visit me and flip me off because I guess I must have pissed them off at one point in my life and they're just not alive anymore and they decide to go, hey yo, hey, payback. So yeah, they flipped me off and it was the funniest experience ever. Anyway, so that was night 4, how that went. And it was not fun. Day 5, there was a toilet in the back. I found out. And you might be like, this is when I moved into a different room. And I was definitely walking, by the way. I skipped those parts. I'm sorry. I started getting better and better at walking. Day 3 was the first day. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. We are on day 4, right? No, sorry, day 5, I think. Sorry, I'm losing it right now. I'm forgetting what I'm talking about. Instead of explaining the days, I'm just going to cut it short here. I'm just going to tell you right now. There was some good nurses and some bad nurses. Let me get into them. The good ones were the ones that gave me a bath. Thank God. Apparently they were supposed to be cleaning me this whole time. And only one of them gave me a fucking bath except... Sorry, 2 of them gave me a bath. I'll explain that in a second. One helped me with a shower, actually. Because it was a shower where you sat on a chair and they would pour water on you. So I only had 2 times I got cleaned. One felt so fucking bad for me. She actually like helped me take off my clothes and she literally went in and washed my back. It was so needed. I needed it so bad. And that was on day 6, I think. Yeah, day 6. Before I went upstairs. No, sorry, day 5 was the day I got that bath. Yeah, I'm losing. I'm sorry, I'm forgetting the days. I'm not good at time. Day 5 is when I got the bath and everything. And there was this one really mean nurse that got mad at the other nurse because she helped me to a real fucking toilet. Yes, to a actual toilet I could sit on and try and take a shit. That was a lot nicer than the toilets they gave you. They would roll in this stupid fucking thing that you cannot sit on for more than like 30 seconds without your legs going instantly numb. It was so fucking high up off the ground too. It was the most uncomfortable fucking thing. Eventually, I did shit. It was unfortunately on the toilet I hated. And that was on the 6th day before moving to my next location, which they bring you upstairs. It's upstairs, right? Thinking. Yeah, on the 3rd floor. Um, being up there is so much better than being down on the other one, and I'll explain that in a second. So I finally had a shit, and that was actually, I was so thankful for that. I was happy about that. The other toilet, I didn't even explain the mean nurse. So they don't allow people to use that other toilet, even though it's fully functional and it works and it just does the job just fine, and it's lower to the ground, easier to sit on, and no one can get hurt. And she got mad at her. I saw that she definitely was mad. She's like, we don't allow them to sit on there because it's dangerous and it could injure them. How and what fucking way? I'm sorry. So yeah, it just sucked so bad. I was getting so much better at walking though at that point that she even helped me blah 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 this and that. And day five, I'm pretty sure was also the day they decided to try me for stairs. Yes, walking on stairs, but everybody was there to make sure I was okay. She walked beside me. There was a railing. I was fine. To see how far I could go up, and that was hard. Stairs was the hardest thing to do in my whole life. That shit sucked, and I was also shaky at times. And at this point, I was starting to jolt sometimes, and that sucked. I would jolt myself awake sometimes. There would be like a muscle spasm. That was not fun. Um, and the needles weren't fun either. The one in my neck was really actually starting to legitimately drive me insane. And before I got to go upstairs, they had to take out all the needles. That was the most fucking worst. Mm. No, I don't know if I can talk about this part. Ah, fuck it. I'll talk about it. So ripping off the tape was one of the worst parts because your hair is being ripped. It sucked. It sucked so bad. And then just watching them pull it out because it's this little loopy thing. It's like a little plastic little thing that goes on, and pull it out. It was the no, no, it sucked. When they took it out, it sucked. And then they had to take out the one out of my neck, which was the worst one. She took it out, so she laid me back here. They took it out, and she had to hold her hand there, which was very uncomfortable. So she had to like really press there so no blood came out, and held it there until the blood stopped and whatever. And that one was, I was so relieved to get taken out. That one I was so fucking relieved. Why was I relieved? You may ask. Because I didn't have to listen to my goddamn heartbeat and the constant pounding there anymore. And the constant uncomfortableness of me trying to relax my goddamn head. It let out so much relief. I was so fucking happy. I was relieved. I was really, really relieved that they when they took that out. That one was so nice. So that they took me upstairs. I got my a whole room to myself, and I actually loved it so much that I actually do miss that room a little bit. That room was so cozy. It was so nice. The bed was nice. Everything was just nice. Felt like my own home. It felt like my own home for the 2 days I was there. Was it 3 days? 3 days. Because technically the day five also counts as going upstairs. Yeah. Um, my family was there. My dad, my mom, and my brother would always show up. My older brother also showed up, but he got very uneasy. He didn't like seeing me in the hospital like that. I can't blame him. Um, so he had to leave sometimes because he didn't feel good. I can't blame him. And so it was going upstairs was interesting because I had to get on a wheelchair. They would roll me up, take me up with the elevator, and I would still have to walk there. I slowly learned to walk without the walker. That was on the last 2 days. I started to walk without that thing. and my mom would come with for me with on the walk sometimes. Same with the other times on the other days she would also walk with me sometimes. Same with my brother, my younger brother, not my younger brother. Sorry, I'm the youngest. He would be the middle brother. Yeah, and he would walk with me sometimes too. Same with my dad. And being at the hospital was so weird. I saw this cool old man. He must have gotten heart surgery so many times because he lifted my spirits up on the third floor. This was on the third floor. And he would go, "Yo, not letting God." This is his words. This is his words, not mine. It's like, "I'm not letting God kill me now," and he's marching like this guy's going. He like, dude did not give a fuck that he just went through heart surgery again. He's just go old dude too. Like he looks like he's in his 70s, and he's going, "Nah, I'm staying alive," and he just goes. He was just gone. It was the most fucking coolest fucking dude ever. Um, that was interesting. On the third floor, it both sucked, but I also loved it. This one woman did not ever take my needle again. I'm jumpy and I hate needles, and unfortunately, since I had to get those out, I would always have to get blood taken to see if it's okay. Every time, out of this arm specifically, it got the most amount of needles. And they would always come in at night, wake me up. No, not in the morning, sorry. Wake me up and take my blood. I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. Not one bit. And they also gave me medicine that would help me sleep too better. It was these two little green things. I think these were the sleep. I can't remember what I asked them for, but you would dissolve them underneath your tongue. You would just take those two, put them under your tongue, let them dissolve, whatever. And so here comes the nights. These were the worst nights. One night was the worst. She didn't decide to nudge me nicely or anything, just to let me know anything. Didn't ask me if I was scared of needles or how slow I want to take the needle or if I should prepare. No. She decides to poke me with a fucking needle without a warning, without anything. And she's a bitch about it too. And she just goes in. Just I didn't want her ever to do it again. And so they had a different girl do it for me, and I was very happy about it. There was a lot of there wasn't very many guys there, I don't think, as nurses. But there was three of them, and one was really funny. I'll get to him in a second. He showed up at the last day, and he was fun. He was fun to hang out with. He was a vibe. Oh my god, he was a vibe. So a different girl came in to take my needle for taking blood the next couple of times, and she was a lot nicer, and she made sure I was okay when doing it. I cried too when that needle happened because I had a panic attack. I didn't like it. I'm really jumpy. I do not like needles, and I still don't. Still don't. You would think I would after the 30 bajillion needles they gave me during that. Yep. Even the ones that won't hurt always spooked me. Anyway, going on. So I finally got to relax and everything. It was so much more calm, and walking without the walking thing was so much nicer. Being able to go around and walk. It was weird just being able to walk by random doctors doing their work, or not doctors, sorry, nurses gathering info, whatever, by the other patients. It was weird walking by them because you would just see them working on the computers on the desk. It was weird because, like, everybody's minding their own business. You're walking by other patients that are walking around too, getting better at walking and stuff. It was weird experience because it, I don't know how to explain it. It was just a really, really weird experience. It's like, it's not normal. You got these people. It felt like I was a test subject. That's what it made me feel like, but it was quite interesting. Um, Now, here's the one part that hurt a lot. This happened on the first floor and the second floor when I went up. It only happened once on the second floor, but on the first floor they always had to give me. I think it was every night. Was it every night? I'm sorry, I can't remember. It's so I don't die. A needle so I don't die. Straight into my abdomen, like right down here in my gut. And a lot of doctors did not know, nurses did not know how to do it properly because this type of needle hurts all the way to the end until they're done. And if it's not working the first time, they go like they wiggle it around to make sure it all gets in there, and that's painful. This one doctor, he knew doctor again, nurse, he knew what he was doing. He grabbed it like this. He pinched it, slapped it a little bit, put it in. I didn't feel a thing. Not even a joke. I didn't feel a fucking thing when he did it. A little pinch in the beginning, but that's it. And a little pinch coming out. That's it. And another girl would also do the same. She was very nice. She knew how to do it as well. And the one girl that was really nice that gave me the bath was also very nice. And the other girl that took out my catheter was also very, very nice. And I'm thankful for those people that were really, really nice to me. Uh, yeah, it was just very nice. Um, there's not much more I can talk about now. I'm just trying to remember the time I spent there. Some days it's very grayed out. Um, but the funny doctor, when I was complaining about being constipated and it sucked so bad, I was actually finally I took two shits when I was on the second floor having my own bathroom, which was so nice. That was so fucking nice having your own bathroom, your own private area without people having to watch you and shit. It was very relieving. And I had two shits and not a lot came out unfortunately, so I was still very constipated. And that's the story of the hospital bits and things. When the when the people came in to tell me when I got to go, when I got to leave to go home, was probably one of the best feelings ever. Finally being relieved to leave this place. But I also loved that room so much I didn't want to leave it. It actually was so fucking cozy. This one girl, which was so nice, she would help me into the wheelchair and she would be the one that would roll me down. And also, oh, I forgot one crucial part. This was on day 7 or 8. I can't remember. But before I got to leave, they took a ultrasound or whatever it's called, I can't remember, to check everything, see if everything was alright. And they had to put in another needle with that ink, I think it's called. It's ink or dye, something like that, to be able to see if there's anything wrong, and there wasn't anything wrong, and I got to get sent on my way home the next day. I was so happy about it. When I got home, though, I complained a lot because I needed to take a shit so bad. Oh wait, no, I did explain it. Yeah, I did. I explained the wires coming out and the tubes and stuff. Yeah, I already explained all that. Oh, the wires were there, by the way, I remember now. Were there, I think, to monitor my heart and help it get back to a nice heartbeat, basically. And when I made it to the second floor without those wires there and stuff, I had to have a little thing with suction cups on my body to hold on to so they can monitor me from the computer on this little wireless machine. When they took me home, I complained a lot because I was constantly constipated and I acted like really really bad toward the people. I was just to my family because I was just in such a horrible mood because being constipated is not fun for so long, especially if you can only shit out little pieces this small and the rest is in there jumbled up and shit, and it just sucks. Your stomach hurts, it turns, it's bad, it's horrible, it's not fun. And that's what made me not eat very well and stuff. Oh, and also on my last day, I also got Subway from my parents. That was so nice. Uh, and I also got cookies from Tim Hortons, which was nice as well. Um, yeah, because I also had a craving for that. Also had a craving for Subway that day, and that was really nice to have. God, getting Subway instead of hospital food was probably the best. It was fucking nice. Um. Anyway, at home, feeling like shit, needed just it was bad. It felt like, oh man, I felt like it could explode at any moment. And then finally, we tried everything. We gave me milk, so it runs right through me, and that did help. Tea. We did the medicines like I forgot what it's called, gravel or something. I don't know. I don't think it's gravel, but it's like these real weird brown pills that you would swallow to help you shit. We did all that, and then eventually I started shitting again, and that's the best. I'll never take shitting for granted again. I am thankful for having the ability to shit when I can, because being constipated sucks horribly. It's a horrible feeling not being able to. So I was always just so mean because you get so stressed, you get so built up, and once you're so puffed up, you're not thinking at that point. You just want to shit so bad, and that's all you want. And it also prevented me from eating so much. That's what happened when I got home. And someone also delivered a whole tray. I can't remember who, but one of my family members, as a gift, gave me a whole tray of just different foods. Oh, I think it was my grandma and grandpa. Yeah, delivered a whole thing of just little treats. And that was so nice. I was so thankful for that. Another one of my family members gave me, I think it was $100. Yeah, $100 of Uber Eats, which was also very nice. Being able to have food delivered to you when you're not feeling okay, or can't do anything was very nice, and it helped me out a lot. Mmm. Popeye's chicken sandwiches were the best. Man, that was good. But yeah, and then later at home, I slowly gotten better and better. My family helping me out one step at a time. It was an experience. Now, time to get down to the what procedure did I have and what does it mean. So they take um so this is going to be hard to explain. I can't remember. I'm dyslexic, so I can't remember if it's the right side or the left side. So correct me in the comments below if I am wrong when I say this. But the Ross procedure, excuse me, the Ross procedure is when they take your right valve and move it to your left side, and then replace it with a cadaver. A cadaver is an organ donor that donated their valve, and doing that means I don't have to go back in and get this replaced because it's not from an animal and it's not a metal one. So I don't ever have to get it replaced. It's gonna be in there. I'm gonna be fine for many, many years. And if I have to get it replaced, that means something must have happened to have that happen. And having this heal kind of sucked. I wasn't allowed to have alcohol and stuff like that. I couldn't, and I don't think I can now yet. But um, yeah. So that's the Ross procedure, and basically, like I said, moves your right to your left, and then replaces that right one with a cadaver valve. And right, no, is it the left they put the cadaver one on? I can't quite remember. Again, I'm sorry, I'm not so sure how that went, but again, that's what they did with the heart. And and you know what's the best part is being able to see better even without my glasses, shockingly. So my vision blurred when my vision was getting blurry and worse because of my heart. It was already bad, but then it got worse. Right now, it's not very blurry. It's blurry, but not as blurry as it used to be. I don't have to squint anymore. I can understand what things are. I definitely can't read the Logitech on my camera still, but I definitely can tell it's a camera. Before, I couldn't even tell 90% of the things at all that were in front of me or in any sort of way very well. And I also had very bad depth perception. I would walk into people and I would feel really bad. That's how bad it got because of the oxygen not going to my head. And now when I got it done, I feel like I can see better. Now that might be something else. Might be my mind playing tricks on me, but I'm pretty sure it's because the oxygen's now getting to my head properly. I also feel more energized. I feel like I have a lot more energy as I'm about to yawn. It's actually just 4 a.m. now and I'm still talking about this. Wow, this is gonna be a long video. Because I don't think I'm gonna edit it. I might put some music, but it was an experience. I definitely can think better now. I can definitely run more and I could definitely carry more now. And I definitely feel more energized. I feel better. I feel younger, if that makes sense. I'm 22, I'm young, but you know what I mean by that. I feel a lot better, and I am very thankful for it. And, yeah. I honestly thought it was going to be my last days on Earth. I was thanking everybody I knew, my ex, um, and my friends. My ex is still my friend, so I should count them as a friend. I was thanking all my friends for staying by me all this time. Even though I might not have been the best person, I'm a lot better now than I used to be, and I'm going to keep getting better as a person. And I am very thankful for everything. And I'm thankful for you guys that watch my channel still and stick around. I am very thankful for that. Thank you guys for all your support and all the times I've been through on YouTube and everything. And I am very happy that this surgery went well. And I do think it's 8 months now since I've gotten it done. And I already feel really good. And can I carry things over 10 pounds yet, though? Don't know. I have to ask the doctor. But I do know I definitely could probably carry heavy things now. That's another thing. I wasn't allowed to carry heavy things. I'm getting really tired now. I wanted to make this video for a long time, and I thought, hey, I'm gonna forget again, so might as well do it now. So, if you guys have enjoyed this video, hit that like. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button and hit that bell icon so you don't miss any more of my content. And I am very thankful. That is my journey, though I'm sorry, it probably more sounded like a rant than anything. Um, Sorry if the story was definitely not not in order like I would have liked it, but knowing me, it's hard for me to talk about my journey and my story on this kind of stuff because I can't either remember some of the days or what happened on those days. It's because it becomes very fuzzy, and plus I was hopped up on drugs because they had to give me that for different reasons like painkillers and stuff, and that's why I hallucinated so bad. Um but anyway, yeah, and that's all I have to say. This was Pure Fear, and stay cool, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye bye. Bye.